Hello, beautiful. Dropping into your inbox, your YouTube channel, wherever you're watching this. And I want to share a special fall skin church beauty activation and ritual with you. It's been a while since I've done a skin church. And with the changing of the seasons, it feels like the perfect time to drop in and get skintimate with ourselves. So you'll be seeing me use a couple of the products from the lab that I built my line with, and I am now helping estheticians set up their own amazing high performance product lines. So it really feels full circle. And I'll also include a link to the duo that I'm using if that's something that would benefit you this fall. But let's go ahead and get started. And the theme is going to be about shedding layers. So wherever you are in time and space, carve out a little time, watch the video along with the ritual. Allow my words to wash over you like water through bricks. And let's just see what kind of magic that we can create together. So, the first thing we're going to want to do is just drop into our body and our being and ask ourselves, why do we desire to connect in with our face? What are we hoping to see in the physical mirror? And if you have a mirror nearby, I happen to have this beautiful little magic mirror. You can look into it briefly and just behold yourself. Mirror work and mirror play is probably one of the most important aspects of the teachings that I teach. It's the most important aspect of, let's see, let me drop in here and get a little deeper on the mirror. So the mirror is just, it's what beauty is about, right? It's like beauty as we know it is about how we look in the mirror, right? But it's also about how other people see us. And it's also about how we see ourselves with our eyes closed. So, learning how to look in the mirror is something that nobody really talks about. There are, mirror work techniques. I started doing mirror work along with Louise Hay back in the 1980s, but I've really evolved the way I think about the mirror into these three different mirrors that I briefly mentioned. So we've got the physical mirror, how we appear to ourselves in the physical mirror, which, by the way, is not the truth. It's only shadow and light with a belief filter via top down processing that we interpret those images. We interpret that data, right? So the physical mirror. And then perhaps the most important innovation that I have created in the last 40 years of exploring beauty as energy is the inner mirror, the mirror of our self image. I call this the quantum mirror. And then we have the third mirror, which is the mirror of how other people see us. And think about it for a moment. How often do we buy products, do practices, do the treatments, do the rituals, do the techniques because we want to be seen in a different way? And there's nothing wrong with that. And there's a lot of power in being able to be perceived by other people and to be seen in our authentic energy and beauty. So if you haven't already, take a brief look in the mirror. And I'm seeing some summer, some vestiges, some echoes of the summer, a little I wouldn't call it necessarily damage, but a little patina from the summer's rays. And I'm seeing some draping of my skin, of my flesh off my skull. So some hollowing under my eyes. And I'm going to start there. So look in the mirror and notice what you notice. It'll be different for everybody. And then I'm going to lead you through just some brief mirror activations with those three mirrors. So you look in the mirror and you see what you see. Notice what you notice. We're not judging. We're going to ask the inner critic to step on the side. We know she's just trying to help us and protect us and help us survive, but we don't need her right now. Just notice what we notice. And I noticed summer's patina, and I noticed some descent of gravity and some hollowing under my eyes. So you notice what you notice. So if we're letting go, if the fall is, I love fall because it's like a second spring. We can plant new intentions, but we can also harvest. We can also release like the trees. We can allow the trees to show us the beauty of just letting go. And so let's go ahead and jump into the quantum mirror, into the inner mirror. And how you're going to do that is you're going to close your eyes and you're going to bring back up that image of yourself in the mirror. So I'm going to bring up the memory of looking in the mirror just a moment ago, and I'm seeing the patina of a little hyperpigmentation and the increasing fragility of my collagen and whatever other conditions I may have noticed. The way that I have more hollows under my eyes because my flesh is sort of draping down and falling because of gravity and whatever other things. So I'm seeing that in that inner mirror inside of a memory. Let's go ahead and just follow along. This is a little awkward because we haven't been taught how to do it, and so we just have to pioneer this together. And now I'm going to challenge you. Say that you looked in the mirror and maybe you saw your mother staring back. Maybe you saw deep 11 lines. Maybe you saw a whole host of other things, but let me jump into the collective here and just pick something. You saw change. And subconsciously, almost in every woman I know, we have been programmed to believe that change is a bad thing. We're supposed to stay the same. We're supposed to be like an object that doesn't ever change, and that's how we hold our value. That could be a belief you hold. Truth, do you hold that belief? Ooh, yes. Okay. So everything that brings up and lets down, let's go ahead and return it to sender with consciousness attached. And now I want you to choose, how do you really want to see yourself? How would you deeply desire to look in a perfect world? If I could wave a magic wand across your skin, what would you want to see? Have you ever thought about that? So keep your eyes closed. And as if you're looking in an inner mirror, which you are, your quantum mirror, I want you to give yourself those results right now, engaging all of your senses using only your mind. Give yourself the results in your inner mirror. I'm giving myself the results. I see that I am not decaying and shortening and going down to the ground quite yet. One day I will completely return to the earth, but for now I'm a tall, lengthy, I'm still a plant growing and reaching up to the sun. So I see myself in my mind's eye, in my quantum mirror, as tall, as vibrant. I see my flesh lifted. And I see that the patina from the summer is releasing, regenerating, renewing, rejuvenating. Not in a control-like manner, but just in a natural manner, because that is what we do. We regenerate. That is what the organism is designed to do. So just practice giving yourself the results that you desire with any products, practices, treatments, facials, or techniques, and practice giving yourself those results in your inner mirror. This is a very deep practice that we could go on and on and on about, but that's a good place to start. Now, we're not going to worry about the mirror of how other people see us, because here's a little secret. When we upgrade the inner mirror, the third mirror upgrades as if by magic, okay? So now let's do a little skin ritual, a little fall skin ritual. So I've got some helichrysum spray, some mist with hyaluronic acid. Helichrysum is immortale. It's the everlasting botanical. I think it's called everlasting. So if you have a rose spray and if you get the duo, you can try this later, but it doesn't matter. You can get any other little spray that you have. Now the misting. Now, why do we mist? Mists are for the neuroaesthetic part of beauty. Mists don't necessarily like change your skin just alone, but they can shift a state. And what state are we shifting right now? We're going from the point A of what we saw in the mirror. We're shifting now. We are looking at how we see ourselves, and then we're shifting to a new transformation point of how we desire to see ourselves that we just did in the inner mirror. So the mist really just brings that state shift into being. It's the neuroaesthetic. It's that feeling. It's bringing all the senses in. So just really smelling the scents of whatever you've spritzed. Maybe it's, say, rose hydrosol. Feeling that the coolness on your skin, maybe beginning to touch your face. I've got this incredible new crepey neck and skin and neck serum. This has got glutathione, bursting with copper peptides and all sorts of peptides. And I'm just going to begin to stroke my neck. Now, this is something I call skin tuition, where I'm not doing necessarily a face yoga sequence. I'm just bringing some intimacy to my own skin. This smells incredible. Has a little caffeine in it, which is a cellular tightener. And let's just apply that. And again, just dropping our hands and then feeling, how does that feel when we put a product on? Can we jump inside of our skin with our consciousness and feel the activity? When you have products like the kind that I create that are bursting with an ingredient called phosphatidylcholine, which is the same ingredient our own skin cells are made of, the skin is able to absorb it. It delivers down very, very deeply. It doesn't just sit on the top of the skin. So can we bring our own consciousness into it, and can we feel the product working? Can we add our own intention and our attention? And can we release any tension all at the same time, holding those tensions of opposites, creating a current? Feel that. I'm feeling a little heat. I'm feeling the actual physical manifestation of the tightening inside of my skin. I challenge you to try this with the next skin product that you have, facial formula. I was going to say skincare. This isn't skincare, this is skin nutrition. These are facial formulas. But try this with any product that you have. Notice how alive is it? Can you feel it working? And if you can't, guess what? You can add your own intention into it to make it work even better. So now let's go back to that inner mirror that I was talking about. I've intended regeneration. I've intended length. I've intended upward motion. I just imagine myself as a plant, turning my head up to the sun. So maybe that's what I'll do next. I'm hearing a little crunchiness. Aging is really about the loss of energy within a system, right? It's entropy. So let's bring some energy within our system. Some neck rolls, lengthening. So aging is shortening. Aging is literally going back to the earth. Shortening, punching. So we want to open up as if we're still in fresh bloom. Now, since we're in the fall, we're harvesting. We're harvesting our fruits. So it's another aspect that we can bring into this. And reflect on the summer season and what changes, what transformations, what big choices did you make that led you to where you're at today? What beliefs are you willing to let go of? What new awarenesses are you celebrating that you were able to achieve and receive? I made some big personal changes this summer, and I'm going to acknowledge them while I touch my skin. How is that different for you? Is that the difference of just doing a skin routine and having your mind completely somewhere else from, just dropping in and being really present with this is where I've been and this is where I'm going, heading into the winter. The light's getting shorter, so we want to support that inner light. I'm taking a little bit of the Crepey Skin and Neck Cream, and now I'm going to just apply it like this on my face. And I saw some hollowing here. So what I'm going to do is press and melt, really reaching in with the fascia to the fascia, that interconnected superhighway of water and light, and bring some consciousness, aka some energy, into this area. Notice how you see the pinkness wherever my finger went. That's blood flow, that's circulation, it's fresh energy. So even just from those little taps, you can see increased radiance. We don't have to be grinding on our face or doing lengthy, bending and stapling our face into uncomfortable yogic positions. By the way, face yoga, where is the yoga in face yoga? If there's no spiritual connection, then it's not truly yoga. It's just facial calisthenics. And there's a time and a place. And if you love to do 20 minutes of it, great. But what I'm proposing is just bringing intention, attention, along with no tension. So I mentioned that aging is a loss of energy within a system, right? It's entropy if you think about it. Dentists have known for over 30 years that lengthening the jaw and stretching the jaw lifts up the entire face. So let's get into that. Let's bring some energy into the system of our jaw. Just putting some peace fingers right here. Pressing and melting right there underneath, just bringing some consciousness here. And also at the same time, imagining my jaw lengthening, relaxing, releasing, and returning back to its original program of perfection. Not because I need to appease the outside eye, but because I enjoy bringing energy to my system, because I enjoy being a being of light and water, because I enjoy being radiant and self-sourced, because I enjoy bringing my light to the world because I enjoy filling my own well. That's a real different energy than if I don't lift my face, I don't have value anymore. And I know it might be a little bit of semantics, but there's something to think about there. So you can continue on in whichever way feels good to you. Remember that skin tuition is just about being intimate with yourself. It's about bringing that mind, body, spirit, and skin all together with your eyes closed, with your eyes open. It's about lengthening. It's about releasing. It's about turning up. It's about reaching towards the light. It's about addressing the inner mirrors. It's addressing those beliefs that might be holding us back from living our most richest, radiant life, body, being, all of it, and business. Let me leave you with one more little exercise and awareness. And that is just, it's sort of an energetic thing, but it's a facial posturing exercise in which we imagine that we have an upside down triangle, lifting our face up, and we put our head right on top of our neck. Remember the old exercise with you had a string coming out of your head for posture? You could do that. If you're sitting, you can give yourself a nice little Pilates imprint. You can engage your Mula Bandha if you're a yogini, tipping that pelvic floor up and squeezing everything just lightly, not tightly. Bringing attention and awareness to your pelvic floor and your spine and allowing that to be up and down. And imagining that you have that upside down pyramid and just aligning yourself with all of that posturing of freshness, of radiance. Just allowing yourself to give yourself an entire facelift only with your posture. And what energy, space, and consciousness can you, your body, your business, and your being be to be the energy, space, and consciousness that you truly be for all eternity with total ease? So I'll link this little fall duo in the email below or in the description of the video, and leave me a comment. I hope that you love this little taste of Skin Church, and I'll see you again soon.